What's up, family, friends, frenemies, enemies, and foes? What's going on? For those of you who don't know who I am, or if you forgot who I am, if you don't remember who I am, I'm that man that goes by the name of Clyde Rush. And this is the Light Body Podcast. Welcome to the podcast. It's good to see you. I know you can be anywhere in the world, but you decided to spend a few minutes here in this space and place with me, and I appreciate it. I want you to know that. Listen. In today's video, we're talking about three things in particular. And they are the new toxins that are shortening up your lifespan. Three new toxins that are shortening up your lifespan. And once I say these toxins to you, you may be familiar with them, but you may not be as familiar as you think you are to them. What are they? I'm going to tell you right off the bat. The first one is stress. The next one is nutrition. And the one after that is plain and simple. You got to go the extra mile. That's a decision. Is it a toxin? Let's find out. Okay, check this out. Here's what's up, okay? We jumping right into this. Like I said, if this is your first time here, like, subscribe so you can get filled in on all notifications that kind of come out. And this way you don't miss any of the episodes that come along. And I love to have you here. And if you have any questions or comments, make sure you drop it down in the bottom, okay? That's being said, let's jump right into this, okay? Three things in particular. One, stress, okay? What you've got to understand about stress is this. Stress manifests itself different ways in every single person. None of us are identically the same. Not one single of us, even twins, quadruplets, however many kids could be born up in that space and place at the same time. Each one of them are different, all right? At the same time, by the same token, what I'm saying to you is this. You've got to understand how stress and stressors create havoc within your body. Now, listen, there's the dark side to stress. There's the light side to stress. All right. There's the good side, and then there's the not so good side. And what I'm talking to you about right now is the not good side, not so good side of stress. And what do I mean by that? All stress in the body activates cortisol. All stress in the body activates cortisol. What's important to understand about cortisol is there's a good side and a negative side to that, okay? Imbalance in everything in the body, imbalance is good. The problem comes when you don't understand what happens as a result of the negative side of it. So what's the negative side of cortisol in the system? The negative side of cortisol in the system is that it ushers in adrenaline also. So what happens when you have cortisol and adrenaline ushering in the body? Let's put it as an example. Fight, flight, freeze, or hide, okay? When you are in fear and you're thinking that the enemy is going to come upon you and it's going to ridicule you, it's going to embarrass you, it's going to take what it is that you've built, it's going to destroy everything it is that you've acquired, it's going to kill, rob, and destroy. That's fear, okay? That's the negative side of what stress actually produces within inside the body. For a short period of time, yes, short bursts, it's fine. Hey, I identified a situation, stress, strain, a struggle, circumstance. I've got to get away from it. I've got to do what I got to do. Or I can decide I'm going to face it. That's the light side of the stress, strain, and struggle. When you decide that whatever your giant is in your life, whatever your adversity is in your life, that you've decided that I'm going to be greater than the stress, strain, situation, or circumstance that's in front of me. Now I'm facing my giants and I'm saying no more. I'm taking my peace back. I've had enough of this and I refuse to engage in it. Now you're triggering. And what you've triggered, that stress, strain, and struggle, is to create a greater identity for who you truly are. Now, that's the flip side. So you saw the negative side of it. The negative side of it is whatever the stress, strain, the struggle, situation, circumstances that's in front of me, I see it, well, not me, but people will tend to see it as something bigger than who they actually are. It's an opportunity for you to truly show the true identity in who you truly are. Meaning there's something greater inside you that's trying to express itself out through the situation or circumstance that's in front of you. However, in the old predictable state of mind, in the old you, you see that stress, strain, struggle, situation, circumstance as something you cannot get over. And when you see it, you don't face the giant like David and Goliath. You don't face that giant. What David actually did was he said, hey, listen to the Palestine that was over there. I see you. And I recognize that I can take you on. In his mindset now, this is all about mindset. The stressor was Goliath, the giant, the situation, the stress, the strain, the struggle. What are your Goliaths today? Your bill, your house note, your car note, your employer, your significant other, your kids, somebody else's kids, they, them, those, and others. All of that stuff is the new toxicity for today. Years ago, there was no time when it was a thing about saying, I got a situation in my family, because the family was the nucleus of everything. The family was the nucleus of the community. The family was the nucleus of life itself. But with the breakdown of the family, it's identified as a stressor now. Now you have a situation on your hands right now. Most people try to fit in to a place where they no longer fit. That's stress. When you try to fit in and they keep pushing you out and you still try to fit in with the family, with your friends, with your frenemies, with your enemies and your foes. Why? Because you're not comfortable being by yourself. Get comfortable being uncomfortable being by yourself. I said it right. Get comfortable being uncomfortable being by yourself and eliminate that stressor, the new toxicity. You got to be willing to accept the fact that already in you, by design, is the thing to overcome any situation or circumstance that's in front of you. What you have an opportunity to do is to believe in the great I am to overcome whatever is in front of me by facing it, not reducing myself down to it, not running away from it. I get to face everything and rise up. All right. There is a scientific equation for this. Okay. And we're talking about overcoming inertia. And when I say overcoming inertia, inertia is the thing that's in front of you that's preventing you from going above, over, and beyond it. What I'm talking about is plain and simple. Scientific formula, because scientific formulas can be consistent and they can be proven, and it's always going to be predictable. All right. Can be proven, predictable, and will always produce the same result no matter what. All right. So what I'm talking about right now is overcoming your giant. And if you implement this formula for it, which I'm giving you, then you'll have the results no matter what it is that you do. You just got to be willing to do this. So let's look at it like this. Whatever we want to face, we have to become more than what it is that we're facing. And we can accelerate because we face it. So what do I mean by that? The equation of this thing is force equals mass times acceleration. Force equals mass times acceleration. What's in front of you right now that's got you reducing yourself instead of becoming a greater expression of yourself? That's the force. The mass is the thing that's actually in front of you that's hindering you from becoming the great I am that I am. That's the stressor. Once you allow yourself to become greater than the stress, strain, or struggle, situation, or circumstance that's in front of you, you become bigger than it. And then you can apply your force and move the mass away from you at an accelerated rate. Now, we can get into more of that in a bit. I know I just dropped the boulder in your ocean of discovery, and that's fine. Just get on the tidal wave of that boulder that's been dropped and ride it out, okay? Don't forget, force equals mass times acceleration. That's the scientific formula. I just explained it to you, plain and simple, that you've got to be bigger as the force to be reckoned with than the mass of nonsense that's in front of you, and move it away as fast as possible. It can't get any more simpler than that. Okay? You've got to become bigger than the massive stuff, the massive crap, the massive junk that's actually in front of you, and move it out the way faster so you can get to your success faster than ever before. That's the stressor. All right? Now, how you going to do that? Well, you got to have the proper nutrients in your system in order for that to happen. Okay? Because without the proper nutrients in your system, how can you have the sustainability and energy to overcome whatever situation, stress, strain, and struggles in front of you? And that's right. I said stress, strain, and struggle, situation, circumstance. I say it again and again and again. You've got to become greater than it that is in front of you. And how can you do that unless you have the proper nutrients and nutritional balance within inside your system? I'm talking about what you eat. I said it with three things. This is number two. Nutrition. Look, here in these here states of America, our processed food is exactly what I said. It's processed food. What do I mean by processed food? That means all the nutritional value, the minerals, vitamins, the nutritional balance, the enzymes that we actually have, which comes up from the earth because it's been grown in the earth by the sun, which means it's taken on the energy of the sun and it grows. Because it grows, it is alive. How can you eat something that is dead and expect to have life to come from it? I could turn this off right now because we're done. How can you continuously eat something that is dead and expect life to come from that which is dead? It does not work like that. Now, when we talk about live food, I know we like it dyed, fried, laid to the side, flip, flop, and drop, and all that other kind of stuff that goes along with it, and we pop it in the mouth and eat it. If it ain't from the ground, put it down. If it's not from the ground, put it down. Don't put it in. Listen, I know. Listen, I've grown up with the same stuff too. I've grown up with eating all kind of stuff. And it's no knock on anybody. And I'm not trying to discredit anybody from anything anything that they have done as far as the rearing or bringing up of your children. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, we did the best that we could. They did the best they could according to the information that they knew. But today, we got choices. You can go with this, or you can go with that. You can go with this, or you can go with that. The choice is yours. The choice is literally yours. Now, you can sit back and go back into the generational, ideology and say, listen, this is the way my parents did it. This is the way that I'm doing it. And if you did it like that, as far as nutrition is concerned, you wouldn't be in the state that you're in right now. You wouldn't be. The reason why is because we had less but had more then than we do now. Now we have more, which is actually less, which is the flip side, to which is why we don't have the sustainability in life that we actually should have. Think about it. When your parents got sick, they didn't run to the, I won't mention any brand store names and go pick up this and pick up that. They went outside and grabbed a leaf. They grabbed some herbs, not herbs, not those herbs, the ones that medicinal herbs. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the natural herbs of the garden that they had. Back in the day, if you had a fever, they went and got some collard green leaves, put it on your head, put them on your feet, and drew the fever out of you. That's one of those secret, down south remedies. Put some leaves on you and wrap you up, and then put a blanket on you and draw the fever out of you. That's how it was. If you had a fever, they would get the coldest water they could get, cold water, well water. Draw that water from the bottom of the well and bring that water up, because why? It's out of the earth. And put your behind in that water and draw that heat out of you. Now, check it. The purpose of having a fever is because the body is fighting off something. All right. So there's an indication. But what we actually had was we had the sustainability and strength in the body to fight. So that's what the body naturally did. We don't understand that because today the nutritional value in the food has been processed out of it. So there are no nutritional values in the food, which is why when you eat, you can't get full because the triggers that are necessary in the body that indicate that I'm full are bypassed in the processed food. Well, here in these here states, it's like that. Did you, if you start to travel out of the country, you'll start to see the stuff it is that I'm talking about. Did you know that the food that's here in these here states is not the same food in other countries? They will refuse to serve what we, well, what most people consume here in this country, in other countries. They will not do it. As a matter of fact, they ship the stuff here to this country that they won't eat in any other countries. Now, I'm gonna share a story with you as far as nutrition is concerned, right? I myself went to the store yesterday. I was looking for a farmer's market, okay? Looking for a farmer's market in the vicinity of where it is that I live up here in these great here mountains, okay? So it was Saturday. I decided I'm gonna go out there and go find myself a farmer's market. First of all, I went and there was none. Oh, at least in the area that I went. It was geographically located, so I definitely can understand that. But there was none. And that made me go on a quest now to find one somewhere. And the reason why I went on this quest is because I said there's got to be some place out here where I can find, outside of the supermarket, naturally grown food. And if there wasn't, were people actually selling naturally grown food? And then I thought about the question of why is that? Because of GMO, genetically modified organisms. That's what you're eating. Processed food, food that's actually laboratory food. So how can we have the proper nutritional balance within the body to take care of the stresses that we actually face every day if the stuff that we're consuming is processed? Now, listen, I understand that this is very uncomfortable for some people, but it's the truth. And I'd be doing a disservice to you if I didn't say the truth. And I just got up here and just philandered and said whatever it was, just popping and dropping and saying whatever comes to mind. These are scientific studies and it'll be proven. All right. So I said I wasn't going to do it, but I'm going to do it. The next time you go into the store, I want you to just start. I said to you before, read the labels. Read the labels. Here's the deal. And it's going to be shocking to you because you have no idea how much this stuff actually is. The SKU codes on the labels are indicators about where your food actually comes from. I'm going to say this real quick. Check this out. Bananas. I don't know if everybody knows what the code for bananas are, but the code for bananas in any store, I don't care where you go, which was crazy, is 4011. Now, if you see a 4 on your stuff in the store, it's GMO. I was like, wait a minute, that's crazy. Hold on a second here. Let me prove this. So I went on hours. I was out there for hours because they're going from store to store to store to store. And I started reading those SKU codes. Then the SKU code with the number 4 in it is GMO. If you didn't know that, now you know. If you see the number 4, the beginning number of the number 4 on a SKU code, it's a genetically modified organism, which means it's actually not real. So then I took it to the next step and I said, okay, you know what? Let me have some fun with this. And let me take a look and see what I got right here, right? So I was going to make a smoothie. This is the true story. I'm not making this is true. And I said, let me go to the store and go buy some apples, right? Because in my apples, I put cucumbers, I put some some lettuce, different things on a green smoothie. All right. However, I'll give you a little ingredients another time. And I said, okay, let me go get some apples. Lo and behold, when I got back from the store, I realized I actually had some apples in my refrigerator already. Now, here's the irony in the whole thing. I don't know how long apples last in your world, but apples in this here world apparently don't go bad. I said, hold on a minute. I literally took the apples that was already in there. Now, this had to be at least more than a month. At least more than a month. They sitting in the back in the booth in the corner in the dark in the refrigerator, so I didn't know they were there. However, I did come across them, and I cut the apple open, a Granny Smith apple, and the apple was still good. How was that possible? How in the world can an apple? And not listen, I do understand that cold retards the death process, the decaying process. Cold does retard it for a degree. But 70 years ago, we didn't have refrigerators. Okay, yeah, no, do the math. 70 years ago, we did not have refrigerators. So what do we have to do? We had to consume whatever it was. Mom and them ran out into the garden and chopped some stuff off. Or if you had some livestock, whatever the livestock was, they did it and shared it with the community and the neighborhood, and everybody got to eat. That's how it was. That's how it did, and slaughters and different things that are on that line. I remember being down south, and I'll never forget this. The pigs was out there. And what do you feed pigs? Now check this out again. This is the life that we grew up in. Okay. So you slaughtered a pig. And what did you feed the pig? We fed the pigs slop. That's what it was called. Slop. And you had a slop bucket. And the pigs ate whatever it was that you didn't eat. Let me tell you something. We used to, so down south, we used to get the watermelon man used to come, right? And what did the watermelon man sell? Watermelon. So he'd come up, drive up the road, watermelon. You knew he was coming because it was the happiest time of the day because everybody loved watermelon, right? But guess who else loved watermelon? Pigs. They love, I don't know what it was. Well, of course, we love the watermelons, but they love to eat the rind of the watermelon. So everything was recycled. All right. So you get yourself a big, gigantic pig out there. You throw the slop out there, and the slop is just the rest of the stuff that nobody ate. And the pigs eat this stuff, right? And then what do we turn around and do? Well, you get yourself a nice big pork chop, yourself some bacon and all the rest of that stuff. And you try to figure out why the parasites and those different things that we actually have growing within our body and yeast infections and all these other crazy things are going on. You got to check out what you're eating. And listen, you are what you eat is the bottom line with this. The food that you have right now have had the minerals, the vitamins, the nutrients, the enzymes that you need to break food down in your system to convert it into energy is not there. So what ends up happening is instead of going on the cellular structure of the body, which we actually call cellular respiration, meaning you're going on the energy is based on the cellular structure of your body. And I have to say that because it's true. When your body's not going on the cellular part of the body, it has no other choice but to rely on the minerals, the vitamins, and the not supplementation, but the minerals, vitamins, and nutrients that actually come and enzymes that come from the food that you actually eat. But if the food that you're eating is void because it's processed and it has no minerals, it has no value to it, you're just eating it for consumption and you never get full. You just keep eating and eating and eating. Did you know that in this country, 70% of the people are overweight? Now, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody because you know your state of condition. 70% of people in this country are overweight. 42% of the people are obesely overweight. Did you know 66% of the country are on some type of pharmaceutical drug? Pharmaceutical drugs. 66% of this country. That only leaves 34% left that are not. You got to start thinking about these numbers, okay? So, stress, nutrition. Now, did I add stress to you? I don't know. Or did I make you uncomfortable? I don't know. Again, the choice is yours. And the question here is the third part. Going the extra mile. How can you go the extra mile if your body isn't nutritionally balanced and fit to go the extra mile? I'm going to tell you how. Get the information, make a commitment, and decide that you're going to do something greater than you've been doing before. You're going to decide, should you choose to set this as your lifelong mission, that you want to live life and live life abundantly. In the book of Genesis, that's right, I got to go here real quick. Genesis 1 and 29. It speaks about how to eat and what you should eat. It speaks about how to eat and what you should eat in the book of Genesis 1:29. Read it and see what it says. Okay. I'm talking about the best instructions before leaving Earth in that book. Read it real quick. It's only a word or two, nothing heavy. And then when you finish that, go to Revelations 2:22 and see what that says about what you actually need to do as far as the leaves. And the leaves are reference to healing the body. Not leaving, but the leaves that actually grow, the herbs that actually go in the earth are what actually heals the body. So there was preparation already for you in the very beginning. And then there's preparation for you again at the end to heal the chaos and destruction in the middle. So if you eat right in the beginning, you skip the chaos destruction in the middle, and then you create sustainability in the end. Which part of this do you want to be in? Do you want to wallow around in the pain, misery, frustration, aggravation, discomfort, fear in the middle? Or do you want to eat the words that was actually said in the beginning to sustain and create the life of abundance that you're supposed to live, because you'll have the nutritional balance that you need to have? And then you'll be able to manage the stress, strains, and struggles like my man David did and Goliath. And then the stuff that actually comes in the middle, you have the sustainability because you have the nutritional balance that you need to manage the stresses that actually come along so that you can get to the end where you decide, hey, you know what? If I take care of the leaves, then the leaves that leave. You understand what I'm saying? The leaves that leave. And it's okay because I've created this balance, harmony, propriety, reciprocity with inside my system. And I have sustainability for life itself. And now I get to live the abundant life the way I'm designed to live. I get to renew my mind every single day because I'm a new creation. Old things have passed away. I'm new. And I don't have to be who I was because I'm greater today than I was yesterday. And the thing that daunted me yesterday is passé, is gone away. So why should I take yesterday and bring it back to today? I don't have to do that. Again, choice is yours. You can go with this or you can go with that. You can go with this or you can go with that. No matter what you choose to do, make a decision and do one or the other. I choose life and I choose to live the abundant life. What do you choose? Okay. Stress, nutrition. And then the last part, plain and simple, is be willing to go the extra mile, go the distance, go toe to toe. All right. So again, if this is your first time here, that's a little bit of what it is that I drop down. Like, subscribe, questions, comments, whatever you got, drop it in the box below. Let me know that you hear what I'm saying here. If I said something to you that resonates within you, or you have some concern about it, or hey, maybe it just doesn't make sense to you, or you want more, let me know what's up. I'll make sure you get fed the proper way. Okay. With that being said, peace, blessings, prosperity, and abundance. Namaste. Everyone else, you enjoy the rest of your day. One love. I'm out.